Kirk Frost and Karlie were never supposed to be in the same room again, let alone in the middle of a scandal that has love and hip-hop fans completely stunned. But now, whispers are swirling, and it's not just messy, it's potentially explosive. After years of unresolved tension and awkward run-ins, Karlie dropped a shocking claim that's sending ripples through the entire franchise. She told a small circle and then hinted on social media that she might be pregnant and the father. She says it's Kirk. That alone would have been enough to shatter the internet. But it didn't stop there, 'cause now rumors are flooding in that after hearing her confession, Kirk lost control. Some claim voices were raised. Others say it turned physical. And the most disturbing accusation of all, fans believe Kirk allegedly slapped Karlie in a heated moment off camera, leaving everyone stunned. None of this has aired. There's no footage yet, but insiders say producers were forced to step in, and now everyone's trying to clean up the mess before the reunion. So what really happened that day? Was it just a loud argument? Or did someone finally snap under the pressure of secrets, betrayal, and one bombshell too many? It all started on a rainy afternoon in Atlanta when sources say a closed-door meeting between Karlie and Kirk Frost turned into something no one expected. No cameras, no microphones, just two people with too much history sitting face-to-face in a parking lot behind a studio. That's seen more secrets than reality TV will ever admit. Fans had already been buzzing after Karlie made a cryptic post the night before where she said some truths can't stay buried forever, not even if it hurts. No one knew what she meant until a few hours later, the whispers began. According to insiders, Karlie showed up at the studio without warning and demanded to speak to Kirk alone. What happened behind that closed door? Some say it was calm at first, just old flames catching up. But others claim it escalated quickly the moment she told him something he wasn't ready to hear, that she might be pregnant, and that the baby she believed was his. Those words hit Kirk like a thunderclap. Apparently, he stood frozen, silent, staring at her like she'd lost her mind. How can that even be possible? He reportedly said, pacing the room, rubbing his forehead. Karlie wasn't backing down. She insisted it happened during one of their quiet moments before he patched things up with Rashida. She wasn't making threats. She said she was just being honest. But that honesty didn't land the way she thought it would. People close to the scene say Kirk's voice started rising. He accused Karlie of trying to ruin his marriage, of stirring up old drama to stay relevant. "You always come with mess when I'm finally at peace," he allegedly shouted. But what no one expected was what came next. Someone nearby claimed they heard a loud bang, like a slap, followed by Karlie screaming. And then, silence. Nobody saw it, but the rumors spread fast. One crew member who spoke off the record said they were told not to talk, not to bring it up. But within hours, social media caught wind. A post on a gossip blog hinted at a confrontation between Kirk and Karlie that turned physical. Fans flooded the comments demanding answers. Was it true? Had Kirk really gone that far? The Frost family had been through storms before. Cheating scandals, love triangles, even DNA tests aired for the world to see. But this was different. If Kirk had laid hands on Karlie, it wasn't just messy, it was dangerous. And if it was false, why wasn't anyone denying it? Meanwhile, Rashida remained quiet. Too quiet. People started wondering what she knew, when she knew it, and why she hadn't said anything. Because if the rumors were even halfway true, it meant her husband had secrets he hadn't confessed. And worse, that he might have crossed a line that even she couldn't forgive. Back at the studio, things got tense. Security footage from outside the building allegedly showed Kirk storming out alone, face twisted in frustration, while Karlie was seen minutes later, holding her face, being escorted to her car by a friend. The footage wasn't public, but someone who saw it told a popular blog that she looked hurt physically and emotionally. After that day, Karlie went silent on social media. No tweets, no stories, no shade. Just complete disappearance, which for someone like her is rare, and fans noticed. Her last post before the meeting had been full of cryptic emotion. But after, not a word. And then a week later, out of nowhere, she returned with a post that shook her followers. It was a blurry ultrasound photo posted to her story for just a few minutes before being deleted. No caption, no explanation, just silence. But it was enough. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Karlie is pregnant started trending. Fans connected. The dots, the confrontation, the slap rumors. And now this dot at the same time, Kirk's Instagram was all family photos. Smiling with Rashida, playing with the kids, pretending like nothing happened. But the comments told a different story. Fans flooded his page with accusations. Some demanded the truth. Others called him a coward. You didn't hit her? Say it. One comment read, and if you did, then shame on you. Rashida's silence became deafening. Some believed she was protecting Kirk. Others thought she was devastated behind the scenes and didn't know what to say. According to someone close to her, she was blindsided. She knew Kirk had a history, but this, it broke her. While fans waited for an official statement, bloggers started piecing things together. An old text exchange between Karlie and a friend leaked where she said, "I didn't want to tell him like that. I was scared, but he needed to know." The text didn't mention violence, but it confirmed her pregnancy claim. And suddenly, people started seeing her not as a villain, but as a woman caught in a storm she didn't ask for. As if things couldn't get worse, another rumor surfaced. A producer from Love and Hip Hop allegedly approached Karlie after the incident and offered to help smooth things over if she agreed not to press charges. Fans were livid. They protect the men at all costs. One tweet read, "Karlie deserves justice, not silence." Meanwhile, more behind-the-scenes details trickled out. Someone claimed Karlie had already gone to get legal advice, but was told without witnesses or video. It would be her word against his. So she backed off. But emotionally, she was spiraling. Her friends said she felt betrayed by the show, by the system, even by the fans who didn't believe her. And while all this was happening, Kirk and Rashida were planning a vacation, trying to show the world that their marriage was stronger than ever. But viewers weren't buying it. This is damage control. Someone wrote on a blog, "They're trying to make us forget what happened." But no one was forgetting, if anything. The silence made things louder. Fans started rewatching old episodes, pointing out every interaction between Kirk and Karlie that now felt suspicious. Subtle glances. She didn't have to say more. The room already knew what that meant. The host hesitated before asking, "Is it true that you might be expecting?" Karlie gave a tiny nod, and the gasp from the audience was instant. Fans who were watching from home started blowing up Twitter. Clips were already being edited and posted before the segment even ended. "Is Kirk the father?" the host asked bluntly. Kirk shifted in his seat, jaw clenched. Karlie didn't blink. "I didn't come here to play games," she said. "Came here because the truth's been buried long enough." The camera cut to Rashida, who still hadn't moved. Her fingers were gripping the edge of the armrest so tight it looked like her knuckles might burst. But she didn't say a word. Not yet. Then Kirk finally spoke. His voice was low, almost quiet, like he was trying not to lose control. "We don't even know if that baby is mine," he said. She could be saying anything. Karlie turned to him, eyes locked. "You and I both know it's possible. Don't lie now just to save face." That's when things started getting raw. Kirk tried to deflect, saying it was a one-time mistake, something he barely remembered. But Karlie wasn't having it. "I begged me to keep it a secret," she snapped. "You told me you'd handle it, and then what? You disappear. You act like nothing happened, and now you're saying I made it up?" The room erupted. Even some cast members who usually stayed out of the mess started murmuring. Someone whispered to another, "He's caught." It was all starting to unravel. And then came the part no one saw coming. The host cautiously brought up the rumors that had been circulating online. Not the slap directly, but the tension, the fight. The possibility that things had turned physical. Do you want to respond to the reports about what happened at the studio last month? The host asked. Kirk's face turned hard. I'm not going to sit here and entertain gossip, he said. People say all kinds of stuff to get clicks. But Karlie's voice cut through him like glass. Is it gossip if I lived it? She asked. Is it gossip when I had to leave with security? When I was shaking, crying, and humiliated in front of people who said they'd protect me. The silence was painful. Even the production crew was still. No one knew whether to cut the scene or let it roll, but Karlie wasn't done. You want the truth? She said, her voice trembling now. I came to you as a woman. I told you the truth. And you flipped out. You've slammed your hand on the table. You screamed in my face, and yeah, I felt afraid. I never said you hit me, but I will say this, you scared me. That statement hung in the air. It wasn't an accusation. It wasn't legally dangerous, but it was powerful. And every person watching knew exactly what she was saying without saying it outright. Rasheeda finally spoke. So what now? She said, her voice flat, eyes still on Kirk. You gonna keep lying, or are you gonna admit that you've been dragging both of us through hell? Kirk didn't answer. He just sat there, lips tight, breathing through his nose. And the room cracked. Open with emotion. Rasheeda stood up. I've had your back through everything, she said, turning to face him. Through all your cheating, your lies, your secret kids. But now you're sitting here like you're the victim, like we're crazy for calling you out. She turned to Karlie next. You should have told me, she said. Not for drama, not for the cameras, but because we were supposed to be better than this. Karlie nodded. I wanted to. Just didn't know if you'd believe me. Well, now I do, Rasheeda said, tears forming. Now I do. And just like that, the narrative shifted again. The two women who were always framed as enemies, fighting over the same man for years, were suddenly standing on the same side. Not because they forgave each other, but because they were both tired of being played. Kirk tried to speak again, but no one was listening. The host announced a break. Cameras cut. The cast began to shift in their seats. But behind the scenes, something else was happening. A producer rushed over to Karlie, whispering in her ear. She nodded. And that's when fans online noticed something. New Karlie had brought paperwork. A few blurry photos leaked later that night showing a folded envelope in her lap. Some say it was DNA related. Others think it was a medical record. Whatever it was, it sent producers scrambling. 'Cause if what she had in that envelope confirmed the pregnancy and Kirk's connection to it. This wasn't just reality TV anymore. This was real, and in the days following that taping, things only got messier. Kirk didn't post anything for 48 hours. Rasheeda unfollowed him on social media. And fans went into full investigation mode, connecting every dot they could. Find from old episodes, old posts, and even unseen footage that was rumored to exist from a deleted scene shot months ago. Some started demanding VH1 air everything uncut. Others wanted Kirk removed from the show. Petitions began circulating. Hashtags started trending. #protect Karlie. Hashtag Kirk must go. #justice for truth. And amidst all the noise, Karlie finally posted again. A video, no filter. No glam, just her speaking. Straight into the camera. I didn't ask for this, she said. But I'm not going to hide anymore either. I've made mistakes, but I won't be silenced. I came with the truth, and I'm going to keep telling it. What happened after that? Video went viral, set the tone for everything that followed. 'Cause once Karlie spoke out, others began to speak too. And the story that had once been about one slap rumor was about to become something much, much bigger. As soon as Karlie's video hit the timeline, fans flooded the comments with support. Within hours, dozens of reality TV bloggers, former cast members, and even verified accounts started resharing it. What began as whispers about Kirk and a slap turned into a public reckoning? People were now asking deeper questions. Why was Karlie allegedly pressured to stay quiet? Why hadn't this footage ever aired? And what role, if any, did VH1 and the producers play in keeping it all under wraps? Theories began to pile up. Insiders claiming to be connected to the production team hinted in DM screenshots that the incident was considered too explosive for air. Others alleged that Kirk had threatened to walk from filming unless the situation was handled. And then came the biggest twist yet. An anonymous message posted on a gossip blog claiming that there was footage, not just of the argument, but of the moment. Kirk stood up, shouted something off mic, and stormed toward Karlie, forcing crew members to intervene. No one knew if the footage was real. But the post went viral anyway. And suddenly, fans weren't just calling out Kirk, they were calling out VH1, Mona Scott, and anyone else they believed had a hand in protecting him. The phrase "they protect the wrong ones" began trending. The pressure was rising. Meanwhile, Kirk finally broke his silence. Not with an apology, not even a statement. Just a photo of himself sitting in a studio captioned with 3 words, "Still making moves." The arrogance sent fans over the edge. The comments were brutal. And that was enough to keep the fire burning. Our Aza HEE, though, was facing her own storm. Longtime fans started pulling up old interviews where she defended Kirk after previous scandals. One resurfaced clip showed her saying, "I believe in my marriage, we've been through a lot, but I trust him to do right by us now." That comment aged poorly, and social media let her know it still. Rashida didn't fold. She posted a new photo of herself alone at a candlelit dinner with the caption, "Healing isn't quiet, but it's mine." The message was loud enough. She was moving through the hurt on her own terms, but not everyone was focused on healing. Backstage, during a cast meeting for upcoming episodes, tensions flared again. A witness told a blogger that Kirk showed up late, tried to act unfazed, and barely acknowledged anyone. When asked if he planned to address the drama publicly, he allegedly said, "I don't owe nobody anything." That didn't sit well. Producers reportedly halted the meeting, warning Kirk that if he didn't clear the air, things could get worse. Fast on, and things did get worse. Because the very next morning, Karlie posted a behind-the-scenes video that had fans screaming. In it, she's seen talking to a crew member, voice slightly muffled, saying, "I don't care if they cut this out. They want me to stay. They better stop protecting him." The clip was only a few seconds long, but it was enough to confirm what many had suspected: Karlie wasn't playing. And she was done being quiet. One follower commented, "This ain't a storyline no more. This real." And they were right. The situation had crossed the line from entertainment into something heavier. Fans weren't just reacting, they were organizing. Calls to hold Kirk accountable turned into calls for VH1 to release uncut reunion footage. Petitions gained thousands of signatures. Even influencers outside the love and hip-hop world began speaking on it. Some said it was about women being silenced. Others said it was about patterns of protection for certain cast members who crossed boundaries without consequences. Everyone had a take. And in the middle of it all, Karlie kept showing up. Quiet but firm, emotional but steady. She began doing small interviews with podcast hosts and online channels. In one, she said something that stuck with viewers. "If I lose everything, at least I spoke my truth. I've kept things to myself for too long and it's made me sick. Now I'm choosing peace. Even if it gets messy." Those words sparked a new wave of support. Fans flooded her comment sections with encouragement, and more celebrities began resharing her posts. A few even offered to help her get legal representation if needed. Still, Kirk remained mostly in the shadows, and the more he stayed silent, the more people assumed the worst. Then came one final blow before everything would reach its peak. A leaked voice memo, the audio, which surfaced on a private Patreon gossip channel, featured a voice that sounded like Kirk allegedly saying, "I told her not to come to set. I said if she showed up with that pregnancy mess, she was gonna regret it." The clip wasn't verified. The source was anonymous. But the timing. Damning. The voice memo went viral. In under an hour, fans began dissecting every word, analyzing the tone, comparing it to old interviews. Some defended Kirk, saying the voice wasn't his. Others said it didn't matter. What mattered was how Karlie felt, how she was treated, and the fact that she still hadn't backed down, and through all of it, the network stayed quiet. No official statements, no denials, no confirmations. Karlie spoke up. And even though she didn't give every detail, even though some people still doubt her, she refused to stay quiet, and that, more than anything, changed how people see her. She went from being the messy one, the drama magnet, to someone who stood tall in the middle of chaos and refused to let anyone rewrite her story. RASHEEDA. She may still be figuring out her next steps, but her silence spoke volumes. Sometimes it's not about defending someone. Sometimes it's about stepping back and watching what they do with their own fire. But what do you think? Was Karlie telling the truth all along? Did Kirk go too far? And what role does VH1 really play in choosing what to show and what to hide? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to know whose side you're on. Don't forget to like this video if you were glued to the drama. And subscribe to Gazio Povabe for more jaw-dropping stories. Behind the scenes tea and all the reality you were never meant to see. This story may have wrapped. But in this world, the next twist is always just one episode away. Stay locked in.